In the history of Apex Legends, information has always been a defining aspect of competitive play. Recon Legends play a big part of this because they can help teams locate enemies in a fight with wall hacks and hit a survey beacon to scout out safe locations to rotate into for endgame. But when it came to Split 2 playoffs in Mannheim, Germany, the Recon Legend that dominated the game was one that would change the fate of even the best of the best in the tournament. So I'm Burke, discussing all things competitive Apex. Subscribe if you like that sort of thing, and let's talk about Crypto, the legend that changed everything.
Oh my god, man. I'm gonna get off soon. Oh my god. I don't know what you want me to do there. Like, play the fucking game!
In Season 20, Apex Legends introduced the perk system. Under this new system, Legends would gain access to better abilities as they leveled up their armor, with choices of upgrades at the blue armor level and 2 options at the purple. Apex developers intended for this change to be used as a tool to balance characters, but also introduced some pretty large power spikes for certain Legends, giving Fuse the ability to scan the ring console, Watson a stronger pylon that could spawn arc stars, and even giving Maggie a massive fireball. And Crypto is definitely not left out of this power spike, with perks that included giving him decreased ability cooldowns, increased ultimate range, and the ability to call out the number of spots in your area. With the meta established from this new perk system over Seasons 20 and 21, while Crypto still seemed to be steadily growing in value, even getting buffed in the following season, Legends like Fuse, Seer, and even Pathfinder were still providing utility that outshined his potential. But then Season 22 came, and with the introduction of the new map E-District came the patch notes that would launch Crypto to the top of the pick rate and into the playoffs in Germany. So now we're at the Split 2 playoffs, and to understand why this season's changes impacted Crypto more than others going into Mannheim, it's important to understand why, until this point, Crypto was rarely chosen, despite always being a quite strong Legend on paper. And it all has to do with timing. You see, in Apex Legends, timing and team fighting is everything. When you take a fight against your opponent, your team looks for an opening damage or a knock to provide an opportunity for you and your team to push in together and win the fight. But with Crypto, this timing is completely different, due to the fact that Crypto's ultimate, in order to be used correctly, requires the user to be in their drone, because a poorly placed drone can be shot out, destroying it and staving off a push that would put your team on their back foot. The Crypto, often the IGL of the team, is forced to be behind their teammates on the push, ulting as their teammates rush in, and joining them late to clean up the fight. But in a competitive match, those few seconds are everything. Now, to the average viewer, that player may not look too far behind. Aside from the fact that for many teams their IGL is their entry fragger, even teams where the IGL is the anchor on the team, this can still be an issue, because when that player is left to clean up the fight, those players often being on mouse and keyboard were at a disadvantage in that close range situation. Not to mention that on the initial push, their teammates were fighting in a 2v3, while their teammate was sitting in a drone. In this season, however, many of those disadvantages began to fade. Firstly, the strengths of Crypto were elevated this season. Survey beacons were given a 100% spawn rate at the cost of a range reduction, which meant that Crypto, who can hit them remotely with his drone, was able to provide an insane level of information to his team on rotations with very little risk. His drone was given better handling and movement speed, making it harder to hit during use, and given a cooldown reduction, meaning that even if it was destroyed, he would still get it back quicker. So all the normal benefits of the Legend were improved, but if that were all it were, the timing in fights would still be a major issue that would likely see him rarely picked. But his contribution in fights changed drastically too. His ultimate, now with the new purple Evo perk, highlighted all enemies hit with it for 4 seconds, which, with all the other wallhack Legends like Seer and Bloodhound already nerfed, meant that this provided some of the best information in a fight that teams had access to at the time. Combine this with the damage output from the EMP, the stun effect, and the removal of traps that it provided, this meant that the cost of your Crypto being delayed to a fight was significantly reduced compared to the value you got. Even then, if it comes down to the Crypto player having to clutch up the fight after arriving, they would still historically be at a disadvantage, being on M&K going up against aim assist in these close range encounters. But that circumstance too had changed. Shotguns like the Mastiff and Akimbo Mozambiques being the most run weapons, a 25% nerf to the controller aim assist, and all Recon Legends getting threat vision while ADSing meant that now the M&K players coming in late had a much better shot at clutching up over Crypto players in the past. Even if the fight does go wrong, Crypto also has the ability to grab banners remotely with their drone and can instantly use mobile respawn beacons without having to expose yourself to enemy teams. We saw this constantly throughout the tournament, as some of the players would respawn their teammates mere seconds after them being thirsted. It also provided with some interesting clutch ups in late game that were genuinely crazy to watch.
Knock.
Playing a credit on it.
I'm getting on top of them.
Two up.
Yep.
I'm walking up the ramp. I'm walking up the ramp and looking down. Bang one. I'm weak. Come on.
One more. Do me. Low. Let's go, boys.
Holy fuck, I'm just the fucking go to reset.
So there you have it. Put it all together and Crypto is a great legend. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. He can also go invisible.
TSM. Verls at a different angle from inside the building. Complexity, feel the pressure. Furia can now sandwich.
Forced down once again. Oh my goodness, Lou gets back inside that building with about 5 HP.
Madness invisible on the other side of Verls. Imagine if he gets the jump on Verls when he's isolated, in this case, by the rock. Madness could go for the biggest brain play if he could isolate one of TSM.
He is very much there. Oh my goodness, Vaxlon will go ahead and get over to his teammate here. Keon bleeding out now. Vaxlon utilizing the walls to pick up some points.
And Furia right now are the same amount of points as Gaming Gladiators to be first in this lobby. Vax now dancing around the shield. Can he clutch? Madness still stuck in the drone, still waiting. EMP comes in right at the very end. TSM get eliminated and Furia had gun for second with Complexity. The patience paying off the charge rifle shots, but they don't even know where Madness is. They gotta finish this game first. And all right, it was just a matter of time here. Madness cheering to the crowd, playing right into.
Okay, yeah, that part is gimmicky, but even with the audio cue in a LAN environment, no one has the ability to suss this player out, and it makes rat plays and resets significantly easier to pull off. So maybe as dumb as it sounds, the invisibility perk is insane, and was invaluable for teams throughout the tournament for the get out of jail free card that it came with. While I'm sure many listening now understand the playstyle that comes with playing Crypto on the team, but actually playing it and at the highest level, well, that's a totally different story. Playing Crypto is almost like playing a different game, and the dynamic he introduces to fights is contradictory to almost anything that players learn is correct. Just having a Crypto on your team changes engagements, and for many teams it switches the roles that players are used to. For the teams going to Germany, with the new season dropping only a few weeks prior to the tournament, they needed to quickly learn how to adjust or be forced to play a more comfortable pick despite the clear disadvantages. Players struggled to figure out if they would play the legend at all, and even more so, who on their team would don the title. For some teams, this was simple. For teams with an M&K IGL like Alliance, Exoclan, Furia, and Guild, it was a no-brainer who the Crypto would be. And teams with flexible or support M&K players that are used to playing different roles, like Kim Chili on Complexity, It's Timmy on Not Moist, and Reps on TSM, it was a fairly easy conclusion. But for some teams, like the Super Team Falcons, they did not have such an easy choice to make. For one, while Zero is their IGL and on mouse and keyboard, he is also often the entry fragger for the team. This means that Zero is typically up front in the fights and acts as the initial output of damage. This is one of Zero's strengths in the game, and aside from being the undisputed best IGL in the world, he is also one of, if not the best, M&K shooters in the game as well, being the kill leader for Year 4 Split 1 and constantly staying at the top of the overall kill and damage leaderboards for ALGS. So, to put a player like that in the back to operate a drone simply ignores the clear skill that that type of player brings to the table. So naturally, this leaves Jen Burton as the best solution for the team to play as the Crypto, as he is arguably the most flexible player in the game and is proven to be able to adapt to any legend. And while Jen Burton absolutely adapted very well to this role, this too provides significant drawbacks to the team. For one, controller as an input is significantly weaker than mouse and keyboard for the legend, because operating the drone effectively requires the elevated movement that the mouse can provide. This is something that, regardless of skill, will remain an issue at some level, even in the upper echelon of competitive. Along with this dilemma, because he is not the IGL, Zero needing to wait for Jen Burton to relay information in order to make decisions is a delay that ultimately the team is not very used to, and leaves less room for the advantages that an advanced IGL can bring to the table. Quick decision making is one of the things that makes Zero such a skilled IGL. His ability to quickly take in a large pool of information and make the best call given that information before anyone else has the time to process it is why he always finds a way into end zones and gets winning positions. But pair the fact that Crypto is a legend that allows every team to know where everyone is at all times with the fact that other teams' IGLs are the ones taking in that information as the Crypto players, and Zero's normal IGLing advantages have been more or less countered. And this is one of the reasons why, unfortunately, being one of the favorites going into Matchpoint Finals, the team was unfortunately unable to put it together and ultimately ended their run in 20th place. But the Crypto also did one other thing that made this tournament a tough one to close out. He made it easy to identify teams. Even though Gaming Gladiators hit match point in only 3 games, teams had an easier time than ever knowing exactly who they were and shutting their run down. This was also possible with other teams that would hit match point later, as any slight variation in comp and even in legend skins would be detectable by a drone well before the end zone, and teams could be easily identified and focused by other teams looking to delay the tournament. With all of this together, on the match point finals, we arrive at match 10. And with 11 teams on match point, SSG is finally able to put it all together. Using the drone to navigate safely into one of the best positions in Skyhook.
Wanna play for diner?
I'm gonna get 5-story, right?
Yeah, I think we go 5-star, but I don't think left one. I think like
Okay,
this one.
yeah.
And constantly rotating with the information it provided.
Oh, team going for it!
Okay.
Wait, 2 man, that's a 2 man, I think.
There we go.
It's definitely 2 man.
Oh,
Definitely
yeah,
2 man. And there's a full squad underneath us. Don't get your drone broken, bro. No, I'm not.
Okay, we
There's
need to
a
set it
full-
like right there and we just EMP run at them, okay? I think we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to.
There's a team underneath us, too.
Okay,
Keep that in
fine
mind.
though. We need to set it right here, we just slide jump off and kill them.
Okay. I did. Set it off. They're going east.
Yeah,
Go
come,
west.
come.
Hey, coming. Get corner.
Come. Yeah, we're good.
Nice. Step this.
And using the drone to locate the only other team that could possibly stop them. As they hold the low ground and kill the solo from Alliance,
Play mine up.
Left team.
Yeah, let's go guys, jump. Jumping.
Yeah,
They're gonna jump. One guy. Oh
to become the next ALGS champion. It's been Burke. Subscribe if you want to help me get to my 1,000 subscriber goal, and thanks for watching.